everyone. Can you hear me? I'm going to stand not in front of the podium because I'm not tall enough. My name is Claire Watts. I am the co-founder of ThruWave, along with Professor Matt Reynolds, who's here at the UW ECE department, and Andreas Pedros-Engel, a fellow postdoc with me in Matt's lab. So ThruWave makes the invisible visible with human-safe millimeter waves. So you're probably most familiar with millimeter waves from airport security screening. So you go in the tunnel, you put up your hands, and you're automatically screened for contraband material. So ThruWave is taking that technology from the security and defense space and adapting it for business purposes. But what do we actually do? ThruWave makes 3D millimeter wave images. So I'm showing some example images here from the packaged goods space. On the left here, we have a sealed cardboard box, what your traditional camera sees. In the center, I show some items that we've hidden inside that sealed box. And on the right, we have a ThruWave-produced 3D millimeter wave image. So you can see not only do we see right through the cardboard, but we're actually able to visualize these objects in 3 dimensions. So another way we can visualize this 3D data set is to look at 2D depth slices, very similar to an MRI or a CT scan, what I'm showing on the second row there. So you can see as we step through these depth slices or peel back the layers, we can kind of see how each one of these objects is illuminated individually. So you saw in the previous images that we not only get 3D information, but we can also see through opaque materials like cardboard. So ThruWave is able to do this with millimeter wave imaging technology. So here I show one of our devices next to a conveyor belt system. So we're imaging a sealed package as it goes by. ThruWave's imaging apparatus emits millimeter waves and then collects the reflected signal. Now, because millimeter waves can penetrate opaque packaging material, we are actually illuminating objects inside the box that are hidden from view. So in the end, we're kind of like an X-ray vision system, but because millimeter waves are harmless to humans, we're able to do this without the health hazards. So what we do is we make 3D images of items inside sealed packages that traditional camera systems can't see. So ThruWave's technology is exciting and impactful because we reduce manual labor and error rate in fulfillment, logistics, and manufacturing operations. We essentially hit on a big pain point of one of the largest growing industries in the world. Fulfillment and e-commerce are now a $1 trillion per year business. And so thus companies like UPS and FedEx are shipping up to 20 million packages a day. And where there are packages, there are errors. So what ThruWave enables these companies to do is look inside these packages and automatically audit them for errors. Basically, we're reducing the amount of manual labor from the quality control pipeline, thus saving these companies potentially hundreds of millions of dollars that they would normally spend in package error rate reduction. So let's take a look at how ThruWave's system would operate in, for example, a fulfillment center. Again, I've placed our device next to a conveyor belt system, so we're looking at packages before they leave the center. So we get a 3D image of a package, and then we send that data to specialized image processing software, where it can flag the package for errors. I show an example here in the lower right, where we have a millimeter wave image of 2 folded t-shirts. The one on the left is contaminant-free. However, the one on the right has 2 broken metallic needles that have been identified and flagged as errors. So this package will automatically be flagged, diverted, and someone can deal with the issue. Essentially, we've removed the manual cost of opening a box from the quality control pipeline. So the ThruWave solution involves more than just our imaging hardware. We have this millimeter wave sensor modules, cloud image analytics, and specialized imaging algorithms. We create actionable items that can be read by MES and WMS systems and optimize fulfillment centers and warehouses. So with that, I ask you, the New Tech Northwest community, if you work in the fulfillment space, if you work in operations, or if you just have a cool use case that you think ThruWave can solve, please contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Yes? So we're operating between 15 and 30 gigahertz, so those are wavelengths on the order of a centimeter or so. There's many different ways that you can get spatial information. In the examples I showed here, we'll have a line array of antennas, and we'll actually use the motion of packages on the conveyor belt to get the spatial information. That's a good question. So she asked what distance we're able to see. And usually we're imaging things about within a meter of our sensor. Yes? Very quickly. So we are scanning conveyor belt systems that are going more than a few meters per second. So we're sampling at about kilohertz rates. Yes? That's a really good question. So he asked how we can identify, for example, a broken needle. So in the case you saw, we would be able to pick it out from a t-shirt because metal stands out very strongly from fabric in the millimeter wave imaging system. So that would kind of depend on the specific use case, and that would then guide how we chose to do our data analytics. So for example, we might be comparing to kind of a standard package, and if we see something different, then we would flag it for an error. Or if we're doing any sort of quality control, maybe we count the number of items, and if there's the wrong number of items, then we flag that package. Yes?
I see the X-ray machines TSA uses them. What's the advantage of this over using X-rays?
That's a really great question. So the advantage over X-rays is that we're completely human safe. So if you were to install this in a warehouse near workers, you wouldn't need metal shielding, you wouldn't need a licensed technician. It's completely safe to be around. I should know I've been around one of these imaging systems every day for the past year. Yes? I can't speak too much about specifics, but we're certainly trying to talk to everyone in the space.
One more question.
Yeah. So that has to do with kind of where we reconstruct the image. The nice thing about millimeter waves is they're, again, completely harmless to humans, so there's kind of no downside of them penetrating further. We would just cut off where we reconstruct the image.